Smoking dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up one, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Ask your bitch, really famous homie, and you know it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative like I made Adobe. I've been balling like I play with Kobe.
What's the deal? What's the deal? PolitiKan The Podcast. We back again Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's get to these topics, man. First topic we got to get to is the LeBron James, Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? That debate. Was this a LeBron James era, or was this a Steph Curry era? Then we got to get to the new Bucks in town. So who do you think is going to be the next rising superstar that's going to be the face of the NBA? A lot of people got their money on Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the next guy up to run the league. Then we got to get to the 49ers, man. So Trey Lance started the preseason, did 3 drives, and looked terrible out there, man. Scored a touchdown, but it was actually a dropped interception that ended up being a touchdown. So Trey Lance is looking like a bust. Should the 49ers trade Trey Lance? And in Italy, in Rome, Italy, Travis Scott had a concert and he brought out KANYE West. Now, once KANYE came out, everybody started to jump around. They said it felt like an earthquake. Over 60 people were injured, and now all the media is throwing out that same stigma they did after what happened at Astroworld. And Donald Trump has caught a RICO case in Georgia. The same prosecutor you see there is the same prosecutor that prosecuted YSL in the RICO case. She's coming after politicians too. And now she has got Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump on a RICO. Let's bring in the homies, man. What's the deal? What's the deal? Devontae, your mic muted.
Every time, man. I always hit that mute, but my bad, y'all. Yeah. What's going on?
Man, it's going crazy, man. You hear about this shit? This shit is wild, man. But let's get to this first topic, man. So we gotta ask. In the last 10 years, was this a Steph Curry era, or was this a LeBron James era? Now, when we look at it, LeBron James made a lot of finals, had a lot more accolades than Stephen Curry. He is the scoring champion. What are y'all thoughts on this debate? And why do you feel that way? Who going first?
Who want that one? When we go first, you got that one? I'll take it. I'll just go. I dare say it depends. At first, it all depends what we're looking at. If we're just looking at overall, I guess, individual success, man, they both got. I can't even pick one or the other saying that. Well, I was about to stop myself. Honestly, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's not going to be the best pick. I'm going to say it's Bron based on media. And I feel like Steph will never get his due diligence. They both, you know what I'm saying, have it. But Bron, based on the accomplishment of passing Kareem, you can all but give it to LeBron. And because of that, not me personally, I feel like you can't pick LeBron without having Steph. I would love to be a fly on the wall to really hear the Magic Bird debate, because that's what we were, I would dare say, able to witness, because it felt like that. Like they were right there. How many finals did they go play against each other in? And I mean, so I think you can't pick one without the other. But if I had to overall pick, I'll just say LeBron. But to me, Steph is just right there neck and neck. And it just puts Steph, to me, the fact that he's in this conversation shows why Steph should be in the GOAT debate, to me personally.
No, I like how you said about the Magic and Bird. That's a good comparison. But I know your answer that you gave was was a political answer. I know who you really want to choose. I know who you really want to choose. Don't go off of what the media says. Go off of your heart.
You already know who my
Listen
choice.
to you. Listen to your heart.
You know who my
Ladies
choice.
and gentlemen, this was a tricky question at first, Caleb, because you said in the decade, the last decade. Decade is 10 years. So I'm staying 10 toes down with what I said, and I'm sticking with it because that's what it is. At the end of the day, the objective of the NBA, playing in the NBA, is to win the highest achievement that you can win in the NBA. And that is a NBA championship. There is nothing higher when it comes to that. The Hall of Fame isn't higher than the NBA. If you ask Charles Barkley, you ask Bernard King, you ask Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, you ask them, hey, would you rather be in the Hall of Fame or have an NBA championship? Most likely they're going to tell you, yeah, I wish I had that NBA championship. It is the highest achievement that you can get. But we like to do this whole, like Devontae said, with the whole media. We like to put little asterisks and we like to like highlight other things instead of the greatest achievement that you could get in the NBA. The NBA is like winning a Grammy for a music artist, right? Drake would not be considered great if he had no Grammys, right? Okay, cool. But, side note, we don't want to put in Bill Russell. I'm still on it. We don't want to put in Bill Russell for winning 11. Then we go into achievements. Oh, LeBron James got this, that, and other, right? Well, he doesn't have 68 individual records. Wilt Chamberlain does. And he's not even in the conversation, right? Okay, now let's get back to this. Now that I got that out the way, it says decade, last 10 years. So that's 2013. Unfortunately, LeBron James has 3 championships in the last 10 years. Now, if you do the 2012, then he has 4. But we're talking about the last decade, right? LeBron James has 3. Steph Curry has 4. So I'm staying 10 toes down. I'm saying Steph Curry over LeBron because he has the most championships. Now, the thing about him having the most championships goes into this. LeBron James got it in 2013, lost it in 2014. Steph Curry got his in 2015, 1-1. And then LeBron James got his in 2016. Okay, he has 2. Then it was all Steph Curry, right? And then in 2022, which people want to tell the Lakers it's a bubble championship, but they won't say it's a bubble championship for LeBron. In 2020, LeBron James gets his 3rd. Steph Curry has just got 2 more at the end of this decade. He just got 2 more. He can still get more. So you can go with LeBron James all you want, but 4 beats 3. How are you dominating in the last decade and you got less rings than somebody else? Please explain that to me.
I can.
I don't know. I think that it's about more than just championships. When you look at the last 10 years, you got to think about relevance. And you got to think about, you know what I'm saying, as far as being the staple of the league. It's also about who the league pushes to the forefront. And we all know that LeBron James has been the league's golden child for the last, I would say, 20 years, literally. He's been the golden child. He was called the GOAT before he even stepped court on the NBA NBA court.
That's not your question. You said 20 years. You're talking 10 years.
I know, but I'm just saying, given that he was able to switch teams, come over to the West, even though it was a bullshit bubble championship, and win a championship with the third team, and then turn around and get the scoring title. Now, Steph Curry has done more recently, but Steph Curry didn't get another MVP.
Oh, my God.
So I don't know. LeBron ain't getting no more MVPs, but Curry ain't getting none either. So they both got 4 championships. So you got to look at it that way. They both are even in championships.
If you want to do that, if you're going to compare it like that, then LeBron took 16 times to get 4. Steph Curry took 9. So percentage-wise, who's doing better?
Well, it's a couple of things with this. Like I said, my personal, I lean more. You know, LeBron has a Laker uniform. I love Steph, but one, the bowl championship ain't a bullshit championship. If we gonna call the bubble championship, y'all need to go take the Spurs lockout championship back too. But
I didn't say it was a bubble.
I know.
If you say it's a bubble, then you got to take it. Then LeBron James only got 3.
Then LeBron loses that title, and then DeAndre's points valid. But so here's my thing. The reason that I say the way I say it is, and the reason I lean towards LeBron, it's because I think Caleb said it too. He this the face of the league. That I give that, but the debate with LeBron now is when he falls off. I mean, the man is 38, and he's still really. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about things that I want to say about when it comes to him, but he really is not missing a step. He was still his play when he did play. He showed that he still ball out. And I think that's where you're arguing if the dude who's been the face of the league is missing a step, and he's really not. And I mean, honestly, if you want to really get down to it, we're going to talk about who's who over the last decade. They played again, and LeBron beat him this again with a team who wasn't even supposed to.
Honestly, they did send them home.
Yeah,
y'all. Okay, time out. Time out. Y'all. See, the thing about it is, y'all want to give kudos on a back for second place. So what I mean by that is no. Y'all want to,
but you're talking about the third place team right now. So you picking the third place team.
Okay, so you're saying, well, LeBron is better because he knocked him out this year. But did he win a championship? No. We like to give LeBron James credit for being in second place. Well, he went to the championships more than others. Okay, cool. If you're going to do that, if you're going to say, well, LeBron James knocked him off this year, well, guess what? The year before that, Steph Curry won a championship. So what?
LeBron James, okay, we could say the title thing all day, but but LeBron James has a record that no one said would ever be broken. And I think titles, here's the thing when it comes to titles. And at the end of the day, and this is why I don't like always the title debate too, because at the end of the day, you're going to like who you like. But the reality is this. You can have all the titles in the world and say whatever you want to say, this is the best player, because titles are so irrelevant, because the person who has all the titles, we don't even throw them in the conversation. LeBron James has an unbreakable record, and he did it this year. So I'm with that feat alone, that's why I'm Bron. I do think Steph, if the way his style of play, he can pass him. I doubt it happens. I truly doubt it happens. But that's why I'm saying LeBron. It's titles all day. LeBron broke a record that no one thought could be broken. And semantics everybody wants to put in that alone, is I don't see what we're talking about there. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a debate.
So let me give you a hype. I just answer this hypothetical, and then we'll be good with it. If LeBron James only beat that record and never won a championship, is he still considered the greatest?
I don't know. Ask Carmelo. Like I don't
No,
know where we
that
go.
doesn't that
Like I mean, like
that's
Carmelo, as somebody who has a
deviating.
scoring
That's
record,
deviating from the question. The question is, if LeBron James just had that record and never won a championship, would you guys still consider him the greatest?
Without that bubble championship, no.
No, I'm saying LeBron James winning just the record. I'm not talking about none of his championships. He never got a championship, but he just got the record. Is he still the greatest?
No,
Okay,
not at all. Look at James Harden. He got how many? He led the league in scoring how many years?
but he
Did everybody look at him like
So
a bum?
then, so then, the other statement will be, then why do you put so much weight on it if it doesn't weigh more than a championship?
It's because it's an unbreakable record, like nobody said.
If it's an unbreakable record, why did he break it?
Because it's LeBron James.
Every record.
Let's go to
can
Amrock
be
before we
broken.
move on.
Do your
man.
thing,
So
Amrock. Do your thing, Amrock.
In the last 10 years, man, was this a LeBron era or was this a Steph Curry era?
I feel like these questions are set up for me as the LeBron fan. Come on, man. It's definitely been the LeBron era. Now, Steph Curry is definitely influential. Everybody now wants to be a 3-point half-court shooter, and that's because of Steph Curry. Let's just be real. But only God gave him that gift. He's the greatest shooter we have ever seen, especially from 3-point range. But yeah, I mean, listen, as much as we can argue about LeBron, let's flip it to what Golden State did. In 15, they played Cleveland. Cleveland lost Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving in that finals. Golden State wins in 6. We see the next year, Cleveland got down 3-1, but with Kyrie and Kevin Love, Cleveland came back and won it. Golden State got scared, and guess what they do? They went out, got the 35 point sniper in KD, and they win the next 2. Do they win those next 2 without KD? We always question LeBron, but we would have to question that too about Steph Curry and Clay and Draymond going out and recruiting KD. Do they get those 2 without? I think they split them. I think Cleveland would have got them back to back, and then Golden State obviously would have got them that 4th time. I don't think they win both of those. And then I don't know if they necessarily get back to face Toronto the next season. So KD had a lot to do with Steph making it to the finals as well a couple of those seasons. Let's just call it what it is. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. LeBron, again, as everybody loves to discredit, but this man has taken teams to the finals by himself. I don't want to hear who he played in the East and this and that. First of all, Jordan can't help who he played. Bill Russell can't help who he played. Kareem can't help who he played. Magic can't help who he played. Kobe and Shaq can't help who they played. They played an Iverson who was by himself in that first. So let's just call it what it is. LeBron's, I won't say dominance. LeBron's greatness within the league should not be questioned just because he is 4-6 in the NBA Finals. That man is 4-6 in the NBA Finals. We're not talking just 4-6 and that's his record. That's his playoff record. He that's how many times he got in the playoffs. In the finals, he's 4-6. Tell me any other player that's got 10 finals appearances. That's basically an entire decade he's been in the finals.
So we reward second place?
The other guy's been in the finals in basically an entire decade. That's 10 finals. What is a decade? 10 years, right? That man was pretty much in the finals for an entire decade.
It's Bird versus Magic.
Every single year.
So we reward second place?
He got there.
Is that what you're telling me?
Again. Look at the losses. 3 of those, he was there by himself. Two of those, yes. KD joined that team and created a monster.
Oh
Who's
my
gonna take
God.
that team?
Steph Curry definitely entered the conversation
Y'all,
with this
listen,
last
I know you're
championship.
upset because LeBron denied
I feel like
Derrick Rose.
Steph's been in
We
the
know why you're upset
conversation.
with LeBron. Let's just
I-
call that what it
I-
is. You're
I'm gonna-
upset. He was Derrick Rose was denied because of LeBron James.
I wasn't even gonna mention my boy today.
That's why you
He
know.
went there.
That's why you
I
He
know.
wasn't
went
even
there.
gonna mention my boy today. But no, all I was gonna say is
we can't ignore the fact that you're talking about the last decade, and the decade is 10 years. LeBron has basically been in the finals. He went to what, 8 straight? 8
Okay.
straight, and we question this
So,
dude's
once
greatness.
again, it goes back to what I
Final
said.
thoughts, y'all. Final
Playoff
thoughts,
leader in points. The only thing he doesn't lead the playoffs in is 3-point shooting, and that's because of Steph Curry. He leads in points in playoffs, assists. I think it's steals too. I think he's like top 5 in rebounding. Like, come on, man. It's definitely LeBron James.
Okay, so I guess it's final thoughts. Final thoughts. I'll just say it like this. In this world, ladies and gentlemen, let's give out second place trophies because that's what we're rewarding. LeBron James has got to the finals this many times. LeBron James has been in the playoffs this many times, but he only won 4. So what you're saying pretty much is, hey, reward the man for coming in second place. That's what you're saying because he only got 4. Second thought is we like to get on Steph Curry for having KD. Well, guess what? 2 of Steph Curry's that he has won was before KD even got there. He just won one a couple years ago. And we like to bring up KD all the time, but 3 of LeBron James' rings that he has won, he had D Wade and he had Chris Bosh. And people want to shit on Chris Bosh, want to shit on Chris Bosh and say, oh, it's Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was a superstar for the Toronto Raptors, averaging 25 points a game.
Do we make the same argument with Jordan and Kobe? Do we make those same? Do we not sit here and say, Jordan had Pippen, and Rodman, and then Pittman and Horace Grant? We don't say that when it comes. We only do that when it comes to LeBron because we try to neglect what he did.
Going back to what I said, if you're
Kobe
going to say that, if you're going to make that point and bring up that analogy, then you just debunked yourself for bringing up KD. Because you just said Jordan had this. Well, Steph Curry had KD, so that's why he got 2 more. Well, LeBron James had Bosh, and
Steph Curry had
Right.
Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
We gotta move on.
We all know they had to go
Magic,
get KD in order to beat LeBron. We all know that they were scared of what happened the year before, and they only beat LeBron in 2015 because Kyrie and Kevin Love went down.
Who has more rings in this decade?
All right.
Who has more rings in this decade?
So
LeBron over Derrick Rose, yeah.
Let's get to this.
That's called a low shot because you lost the argument. Keep going.
Let's get to this next one, man.
Y'all just can't stand LeBron for whatever reason.
All right, let's get to this next one, man. So who is the next superstar? You got Jokic, back-to-back MVP. We got Jason Tatum. We got who else, man? We got Ja Morant, even though he keep getting caught with guns. We got Luka. I mean, who is your pick to be the next star up and be the next Steph Curry or LeBron James of the league? Who y'all got?
We ain't even mentioned Giannis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's even
Giannis.
Giannis.
I mean, Giannis already been on. To say Giannis is to be like, that's an obvious pick.
I mean, you could say that Jokic is already on now. I mean, but I think Giannis is still the pick. I mean, Giannis was the clear one for this year. I think it's Giannis. Giannis has been the one since we talked about all these other ones up. I mean, the only other person who's close would be Jokic as of right now, until the season fully gets going. But it's an international player's game to take. I've always felt that. It's been that way. I'm so interested to see what happens with Jason Tatum. I can't see Luka winning in Dallas, but hey, I didn't think Dirk was going to win that year neither, and he did it. But I really think You can pick all of those, but to me, you can't take him off the list. The clear person is Giannis. Greek Freak is still alive, and I mean, it's him. Like, it's him. There's nobody but I'll say this though, it depends how, because he's starting to get little knick-knack injuries, so it just depends how that goes. But the next step is Jokic until he gets beat.
So we're going after the LeBron James era. I'm just want to make it clear. It's after the LeBron James era. Who's up next? We ain't talking about like up and comers. We're talking about superstars. Who up next? If you got to do that, then I mean, technically, Jokic has been dominating the lead a little bit. You know, getting his MVPs could be questionable, but he still got them. And he just recently won a championship. But like I said, I am staying. I can see Greek Freak. I think it's 1-1 between him and Greek Freak. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I am staying 10 toes down on what is the objective of the job. The objective of the job is to win championships. Skip me with all the bullshit on, well, all this individual success, oh, he did X, Y, and Z. The objective of the job is to win championships. When you're able to argue that point, then we got something. So right now, it is between Jokic, and I would give it to Giannis. Like Devontae said, Giannis got one, Jokic got one, and I can see them battling out. Luka, that's more like future, but even with that, if you go Luka, then John Morant is right on his heels, and I believe John Morant has been doing a little better than Luka has, even with gun charges. So, and he's doing it less. Like we don't put in consideration. We put in longevity, but we don't put in a person doing the same thing in less time than you. So right now, I'm going with Joker. And if Greek Freak can get healthy, I'm going Greek Freak. Tatum is an up-and-comer. I maybe think he need to get out of Boston and see something different. But right now, it goes to Joker and Greek Freak.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, primarily too because NBA has been international, and it's even more so to this day. So those three guys, are international players as well, right? To y'all's point, Giannis has a chip, MVP. Jokic has a chip. I think 2 MVPs now. They're gonna hype. Yeah, I mean, they've been hyping Jokic since he won his championship, and like he's the greatest big man of all time, which is absurd. Tatum definitely is in that conversation. I think he should stay in Boston, but he's definitely I don't know. I hopefully he gets over the hump and he doesn't have that Peyton Manning type of syndrome where he gets close and then fumbles the bag. Because I mean he's gonna have to battle it out with Giannis. I don't think Giannis is leaving Milwaukee. I mean I'm trying to think of. I mean you got like a young Trey Young, sharpshooter. I'm not saying that he'll be up, but in the conversation. I mean he's a pretty talented player. I'm trying to think of who is Devin Booker. With Phoenix, I like Devin Booker's game. I think he's gonna be up there. Yeah, Luka, Giannis. I mean, those are the names, right? And Jokic. I don't really see anybody else, They got the MVPs. They got the titles.
You didn't say Ja.
Yeah.
Ja,
I'm not sold on Ja Morant. I mean, he's a talented player. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sold that he's gonna get over the hump. To Ya's point, it's about championships, MVPs for the most part in the league. If you've won that, in all likelihood, you're getting in the Hall of Fame. You know, they're gonna throw your name and consider you an all-time player. So if you want an MVP, or a championship or both, I don't see Ja Morant doing that with those other guys in the conversation. And all those guys will be duking it out over the next decade. And so, yeah, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Tatum, Devin Booker, I'll put as the fifth person.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
The question is, if we're talking after I don't know what year this dude is in, but if we're talking after LeBron, I know it used to be a debate. Is it still a debate? Would it be Kevin Durant's league after LeBron James league?
No. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been.
I mean, if Phoenix actually
is he still in the conversation?
He is. If Phoenix actually can go out there and get a championship and then go out there and defend another championship, if he can win 2 championships in the next 5 years over there in Phoenix, and I believe that then with 4, if LeBron or Curry doesn't win another one, then you can enter into the conversation. But you still got to win 2 over there in Phoenix, and I just don't see it.
KD just want to hoop, and I ain't mad at him for that. KD just want to hoop, and I don't think he. I don't want to, because it seems like I'm trying to question that man's drive, and I can't do that when it comes to KD because he's KD. I mean, like, he's just pure basketball at his finest, and I think. I don't think KD. It was a time that we wanted Kevin Durant to care about that, and I think he did. And I think that was probably that Golden State era we saw, and then maybe what he was going to try to do in Brooklyn. That when he had that run and before he got, I think, injured, or he missed that shot. But I can't see KD. I would like to because I'm a Kevin Durant fan, but KD he's a mercenary at this point. That's what he's doing. So he just there, you know.
All right, well, let's get to this next topic, man. So NFL preseason started last week. The 49ers had their debut. Brock Purdy did not play. He was still rehabbing his shoulder, even though he's practicing. Trey Lance got the start. Trey Lance had 3 drives in which he went 3 and out, 2 of the drives, and he ended with a touchdown. But the touchdown was a drop interception that was thrown right into the other team's hand. And he dropped it, and the receiver ended up catching the ball, and that's how they scored. What are y'all thoughts on the Niners? They traded, 3 first-round draft picks to get him. They moved up. They said he was a starter last year. He got injured on the first drive, week 1, so they never really got to see him play. But stepping out there every time he gets a chance to show his skill set, he doesn't look good, man. He doesn't look polished. He doesn't look ready, man. So what's your thoughts on the 49ers with Trey Lance, and what y'all think they should do with him?
Well, I heard with the 49ers. So y'all got to figure out who y'all want to be y'all quarterback. Because the 49ers, y'all disrespectful. And this is why y'all disrespectful. I heard. Who's your main quarterback? Purdy or something like that? Purdy? Okay. I heard the man is one of the main reasons why y'all were even relevant last year. And y'all did real good with him. Real good until he got injured, right? Came out of nowhere. Nobody knew him. And, a little Cinderella story and everything like that. I heard, don't know if it's true or not, but I heard even if he was not injured, if the 49ers got to the championship, you guys were calling up Phillip Rivers to play the championship game instead of Purdy. That is the rumor that is going around, that you guys were going to get Phillip Rivers to lead you guys to the championship. Now, that's disrespectful in itself. guy gets you there, and you guys are like, forget you. We're going to go with this old white man and let him lead us to the chip, right? So y'all got to figure out who y'all want to be a quarterback. Now, 3 bad preseasons. I get the whole him injured, then he come back. It's preseason. Nobody really cares about preseason. Now, if he ain't your main quarterback anyway, hey, get some pieces that you guys can. But are you guys really putting your future in Purdy? If it's going off of that rumor, you guys aren't even putting your future in Purdy. So therefore, you trading Lance. Why? Why are you going to trade him? Because you guys aren't even confident in wanting to have Purdy as your quarterback. You rather have a Rivers that hasn't played a lick in a long time try to lead y'all to a championship. So y'all don't even know who y'all want to be your quarterback or your future quarterback.
They can have Jimmy G back. Come and get Jimmy G. He is available. The Raiders, as a Raider fan, I don't want him. No, I agree with that, man. I just think that Simba and DJ Drama said it best, man. Results take time, man. I think it's, I feel like when it comes to black quarterbacks, they already have enough to deal with. So I hate that it's even this, but I just want to say, like, I just think that give them time, no matter who it is. It's not like you got another option that you think is going to be better, and you're going to just they probably don't even, most of the time, they don't even want to play most black quarterbacks. So it's like, give that man time to cook. If Baker Mayfield can still get a job, this man can. this man can. They got a whole Jimmy. What's his name? What's a Johnny Manziel documentary coming out? Let this man figure it out. If he's going to be injury prone, time will tell all that. And I hope that's not the case with him, because at this point, I'm rooting for all the black quarterbacks. I want them all to keep trying to make it through. And it's just like, yeah, I think my brother said it best, man. Like, yeah, y'all need to figure that quarterback situation out. But I think it is just preseason. Let him get his snaps in. Let him get it. That's the whole purpose, is for you to make your mistakes. And I think we're in such a time where you need to produce now. And that's the product for the NFL, sadly. But it's like, nah, let that man develop. But sadly, because he's a black quarterback, this is going to be the story that they're going to keep spinning. And this is what it is. So.
I mean, unfortunately, the Niners do not have time to develop any of these quarterbacks. I mean, we were in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs, and we lost because of the quarterback. Then we were in the NFC Championship game because with the Rams, because we lost to the quarterback. Then you turn around and win the NFC Championship last year, and we lose all our quarterbacks. We have 3 chances in the last 5 years to actually have the talent to win it all, and we have lost it because of the quarterback position. And it's like, the fact that we still don't have a quarterback after 5 years of this is utterly ridiculous as a fan. It's like, pick somebody, stick with it, and let's go. Like, but you can't keep doing this shit to us as a fan. 5 years, 3 chances at a Super Bowl, and we cannot still go in definitively and say this is the quarterback of the 49ers going forward.
I agree. And this is what I would say. I think at some point that these GMs have to get held accountable, because I think when you look at it all, like, if a quarterback is what they needed, and I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, even though they weren't going to trade him, but Lamar was trying to get paid. I didn't see the 49ers trying to go pursue that. Aaron was going to go where Aaron was going to go, but I didn't hear the 49ers trying to go pursue that. So that's why I'm like, let that man cook. Because if they were that serious about trying to get a quarterback.
Now, Tom Brady actually wanted to come to the 49ers, and the 49ers decided to keep Jimmy Garoppolo over getting Tom Brady, and that's why Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers.
That's why I said
because the Patriots was choosing Jimmy Garoppolo over him, and that's how he got him shipped out, and he ended up with the 49ers. And then he's got the Niners, that's his hometown. So he actually wanted to go to the 49ers instead of the Buccaneers. But the 49ers decided to stay with Jimmy G. And now we look at us. The Buccaneers got a Super Bowl, and we still over here trying to pick a quarterback.
Jimmy G's available.
What you got, Amron?
So what's the question? Should they trade Trey Lance? I mean, no. I think they should definitely keep him. I think they should. Yeah, I mean, in this league, you need 2 quarterbacks at least, especially the type of quarterbacks that we have in this league. Play option type of quarterbacks. Quarterbacks who can stay in the pocket and run if need be. And Trey Lance is that type of quarterback. I would imagine. My thing is if they're gonna start Brock Purdy, I don't even think that's. I understand how he played, but Trey Lance was your starter at the beginning of last season, and he went down due to injury. So we really didn't even get a chance to see how he was going to do. So I think it's only fair that he start this season and he gets that chance to see how he's going to do this year. Because again, we didn't even get a chance to see him last year. Brock Purdy.
Shanahan has already named Brock Purdy the starter. And he's actually in a fight for the second string job against what's his name? I can't even think of his name, man. He used to be on the Panthers. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah.
Darnold.
That's kind of corny, but y'all's coach is Shanahan, and we all know the Shanahans don't particularly like our colored people. But anyway, so I don't know. I think that's corny. I think Trey Lance was your starter at the beginning of last season. He got hurt, just like all of them got hurt. Even Brock Purdy got hurt. I don't know. Maybe it's something they're seeing in training camp or what have you, or maybe they just want Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. Your two,
you're an Eagles fan, so this reminds me of what was going on with your team, the Eagles, with Nick Foles and Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys actually went with Wentz and got rid of Foles. And then Wentz ended up being a bust. And then you end up looking for a quarterback. Fortunately, y'all found Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
with Foles in the position.
With Foles, we already knew that Foles wasn't a great regular season quarterback. Like that run that he had was at the end. It was already week 13. We had already solidified first place. So, he just guided us through those playoffs and won us a Super Bowl. Yes, but he was already also too a more veteran quarterback at that time. These two are still very young, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they're about the same age. So that's kind of different. They were already Carson Wentz was going to be the guy because primarily of what he did up through 13 games and because of his age, his youth. Nick Foles, was already kind of, again, past that prime, so to speak, went on a magical run. But in this situation, they're both the same age. It seems like they both have the same capabilities. And again, Brock Purdy, I believe, was on your roster last year at this time, and he didn't get the starting spot. The only reason he played was because both Trey Lance and Jimmy G went down. That's the only reason we were able to see him play. So, okay, I get it. He played and he played well. But again, that's the only reason we got to see him play is because the guy you initially picked went down and even his backup went down. But the guy you initially picked is back again and he should be the starter. So if I'm Trey Lance and I'm not the starter, I would and should feel some type of way about that, just straight up.
I don't
think that's fair.
Exactly.
I would. I mean, this is, left brain a little bit, but let's take out like how Emrock talked about, maybe you just don't want a black quarterback as your star. All right. Let's throw that out, right? Even though we kind of know what it is. But let's say we throw that out. So what if you guys kept your 2 quarterbacks, right? Because just like Amrock said, you need at least 2 quarterbacks in the league, right? What if you, instead of trading him, you kept both of the quarterbacks and Cam Newton is still available? Now we're just throwing out the black or whatever and everything. Why wouldn't you guys pick up Cam Newton?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all need a quarterback,
he's too much of a distraction to be a backup.
A distraction
I know what it is.
I just think that,
how was he? Did they make him
I don't know.
Did they
Back
make
to
him a distraction, or how is
this
he?
Trey Lance thing. I think that as the 49ers, if you're not even sure if this guy's going to be your backup quarterback, and he might be your third string quarterback, I advise you to sit him right now. Don't let nobody get no more tape on him so that his value don't go any lower than what it is, and find him a trade partner immediately. I mean, there's plenty of teams out there that need a quarterback that can hedge some second and third round picks to get Trey Lance right now.
But y'all need a
You
quarterback.
recoup what you
He could, Trey Lance could be starting in Tampa Bay. They got Baker Mayfield right now starting. Like that could be like that's ridiculous. You know, come on.
But don't y'all need a quarterback?
In Washington, I don't know who this quarterback is. What's his name? Who the quarterback of Washington?
Yeah, Washington needs a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
And y'all but what y'all gonna do is the same thing. Y'all gonna get rid of the dude, and then he gonna find the right system, and y'all gonna be so upset. It's the same thing what happened to Geno Smith. Everybody wrote him off, and then at least he got his team to the playoffs. So don't like Devontae said, don't quit on the man because he had 3 bad preseason
results take time, man. Results take time, and I mean, it was meant to be, it's gonna be. And I think like we were talking, I think it was last week where we was talking about who's in there, and I do think the 49ers is in that conversation. But like I said, I think it's Philly's year to lose it. It's always the Chiefs' year to lose it, and the 49ers are there. They got to figure that quarterback situation out, but it's on the GM. Like it's really, we know what it is. It's like, because if this was a white quarterback, he wouldn't have lost his job. We've seen it happen so many times, and that's just call it what it is. That man would have lost.
That's why
job.
y'all are gonna bring Phillip Rivers.
I didn't watch the Niners, but somebody I know we're talking about they were doing good before, but how good was Trey Lance doing before he went down? Was he like?
So Trey Lance was a rookie the year before, so he barely got any playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Then last year he was named a starter, and he got injured on the first drive of the first quarter. He didn't even get like 4 plays in before he got injured, broke his ankle for the season. So he
y'all don't
literally
even got no
not
tape
even
on
got a chance to get out there. That's what Amrock
that
was
makes
saying.
it even worse. Hold on now. So you telling me the man didn't even get a chance to play, and they shoved him all the way down?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that.
He was good. He was good enough to be. You named him the starter at the beginning of last season. So obviously, again, Brock Purdy was on the same team. So all of a sudden, in a magical year, it flipped. How? Where? Why?
And Purdy was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Purdy was a rookie last
again.
time.
Purdy played good when he came in, but still, like, nah, that's not right.
Trade that man. Trade him. Trade him. Like I honestly trade him. He does.
San
they don't deserve
Francisco. They want
his morale was down.
The 4 horsemen, as they want the white GM John Lynch. They got the white head coach and Shanahan. They got the white quarterback, and they got the white running back and Christian. That's what they want. Period.
Yes, sir. So let's get to this hip hop news, man. So Travis Scott had a concert in Rome. He brought out surprise guest Kanye West, and the crowd went crazy. They said it literally felt like an earthquake because the crowd was all jumping around and raging. And I believe over 60 people left, went to the hospital with injuries. And now they're saying that his concerts are dangerous. And the media is definitely spinning a negative twist on Travis Scott's concert, especially after what happened at Astro World, where I believe it was 11 people passed. So now anything that happens at a Travis Scott concert, they're going to report it. What are y'all thoughts on this?
I'm hearing more about Travis Scott. First of all, man, like this is like a ridiculous. First of all, like let me say this because I don't like to start. I don't want to start that way. If somebody was injured, that's messed up. I hope the people are okay. I truly do. I truly do. But without the ICP fans coming at me, I mean, Insane Clown Posse. I know that's dated, but like a lot of these, like this is not new. Like this is not new. Like I just like it's kind of like I feel like they're just trying to purposely you can and cannot control what happens at concerts. You have a thing on the stage. You could stop and tell somebody to chill if you see something. But for the most part, like it's so many moving pieces that you can't control a lot of that stuff what goes on. That's why there's a whole operation side to that. And I think that you bring Kanye out. We ain't seen Kanye in forever, and he has that Kanye effect where people just gonna go crazy for him. And that's it's kind of crazy to me. Like it's like, especially here in news media, I'm not surprised because I know what it really is. It's the black effect. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, for somebody take the point because I can't. I just can't.
I'm gonna listen. How are you gonna blame this man? At the end of the day, going off of what you were saying, Devontae, Cardi B got a bottle thrown at her, right?
Which she welcomed.
She got a bottle thrown at her, and she threw the mic back, right? When do we want to get on Travis Scott about his concerts? This is where my brain goes. You get on Travis Scott about his concerts. He's not telling the people to do X, Y, and Z. Like, people got a mind of their own. They do what they do. I mean, people got injured. Okay, cool. You can get injured at concerts. That can happen. Yeah, I get it and everything. But you want to control Travis Scott's concerts and pretty much make him responsible for the people at the concert, because I believe at the one where the 11 people died, didn't he pay for like their funerals or something like that? I think that's what I heard. And so they're probably thinking the same thing of, okay, now you got to pay for these 60 people that got injured. You're making him responsible for the concert, but you don't make the parents responsible of the kids that go up and go shoot up schools. I'm just saying, you're so focused on a hip hop artist doing what he does and doing his job, and the people acting however when they get some alcohol or some other stuff in their systems or whatever the case may be. These EDM concerts, when people are doing X, Y, and Z, they probably got injuries too, and you ain't on their heads about their concerts. But you on this guy about his concert. But if somebody's little kid goes up and shoots up a school, church, or something like that, you don't hold the parents responsible. Get off the guy's neck. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. They're blaming us on Travis Scott and Kanye, or just Travis Scott?
Travis Scott. They're saying that this is how dangerous his concerts are.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the Astro World where 11 people got trampled and passed.
Yeah, I mean, nobody says anything about the U2 concerts. Nobody says anything about the Metallica concerts. Nobody says anything about the old Linkin Park concerts, where, crowds were getting just as wild and rowdy, or Lady Gaga or Beyonce's. Beyonce's on tour right now. Her concerts are ridiculous, right? Like things happen. To y'all's point, you can't control what, a few people do at a concert, that has over thousands of people there. So to put everything or blame everything on him, especially after what happened prior, which he was not charged for, right? They tried to get him on that, but again, they found, I guess, no wrongdoing on his part in that, in what happened. And I think that's the only thing that's, so because that happened, now every concert, every Travis Scott concert, listen, his music is, he's got a lot of bass in his music. It's, a lot of, so the crowds are going to be reacting to it. They're going to be jumping. He's a very energetic artist when he's, on stage, right? I haven't seen him in person, but I've seen clips. Like, it's a concert. It's live in there, right? And people are feeling that. And most people that I'm sure go to a concert, they already turn on some liquor, maybe smoked a little weed, whatever the case may be, that's got people turned. But that's not Travis Scott's fault. But that's how most people are going to be, right? And so you add that, plus the intensity of the concert, plus all of those people there. I mean, that's no excuse to say something's bound to, but this is reality. Something's probably bound to happen. And so to sit here and try to pinpoint and blame him on every little thing, I think is ridiculous. I mean, of course, the crowd is going to go wild for Kanye West. No matter what Kanye says or does, you see Kanye on stage, that man is still a musical genius. You're going to go crazy when you see him on stage, period. To blame that on Travis Scott, I think that's, again, another thing that's ridiculous.
I think if you're going to attack, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I think that just to piggyback off that, I think that with hip hop being 50 years and with all these RICO charges, as we talk about RICOs and all these RICOs coming up in hip hop, and then you look, this is in Rome, in Italy, where this is happening. It's showing that hip hop has grown so big that they can't contain it anymore. And I think that that's really the problem that it really boils down to, is hip hop is something that they can't control anymore. And they hate that it's grown to this point where now we can get our own money. We don't need them to run our labels per se. You know what I'm saying? We're using this to get people out the hood. And even if they use some of the money to still do some criminal activity, now you're using that to bring me down and say that my legal money is funding drug wars and all this stuff. It's a direct effect of hip hop outgrowing them and them not being able to control it like they did in the past.
Hip hop is the number 1 or 2 export of America, not just from Black America. Like hip hop, yes, to your point, Jalen. Like it is global, and it has a strong influence on a lot of people across the world. And so, that's why, a lot of these hip hop artists are going down for various reasons of different things, especially a lot of the independent hip hop artists, right? They're challenging the establishment. And so, you're going to get that pushback. And I believe Travis Scott, I don't know, I forget which label he signed to, but he's very known internationally, just like a Kanye, just like a Drake, just like all these guys. And so their influence is very powerful. And the powers that be see that and know that. And so pretty much you better, act right, because otherwise they might, come at you, as they're doing with Travis Scott, as they did with various other artists. We just saw with Tory Lanez, they're coming at all these different artists, especially ones that go against the establishment, period. And, the ones that they haven't gone at yet are the ones that, I think are just staying in line, trying to stay out the way, not do too much. But, at the end of the day, too, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you just got to live your life. And I think that's what Travis Scott is doing. He's saying, look, man, he's got a title. He's got a track on his new album, Utopia, called Thank God. I'm sure he did that right after that whole, tragedy happened. And he was, he didn't have to face no charges. I'm sure like that, that was a lot on him. They were trying to, get him on some, you were the cause of these deaths. Like what? Like, what do you mean? But hip hop, to your point, is very influential and powerful globally, not just in the United States. And because of that, powers that be, they coming at them, they looking at them constantly.
I just want to say, I think that there's just two things with it. If we're going to start doing this with the Travis Scott thing, I think I want that same energy the next time a sports team wins a championship. I just, because there's things that goes on, because like whoever wins, when we see it every year, and it's like, and they show it like it's entertainment and just run with it. But the other thing too, I think that, like I said last week, is just artists it's just a great responsibility. If you know that they're on you, there's a lot of discipline and accountability you got to have. And I think with Travis, I'm not going to say I don't say this to say that he didn't. I say this from a place I don't know what all he had, but it's being tighter with measurements to make sure you protect yourself the best way they can. Because some people, And I'm not, the people are going to take it and run with it because, like we're saying, it's Travis Scott. But I think it's important for, at this point, just especially black men, we have to protect ourselves at all times, and just be more cautious of things. And I don't think it's a Travis Scott issue. I think it's an isolated incident, and it's going to happen again. And we ain't even talking about Coachella. There's something at Coachella every year. So I just think it's amazing that we're talking about this. But that's my point.
All right, so let's get to this last topic, man. So speaking of all the rappers and all these RICO charges popping up, the Atlanta DA, the same one that charged YSL with its RICO, has hit ex-President Trump with a RICO to overturn the election in 2020. So I guess they have some whistleblowers, and there were, I believe 9 or 10 people in this indictment, not 28 like the YSL, but the same DA that you see there, the same one that says he was coming after all the rappers, was coming after Trump, hitting Trump with the RICO. And this RICO charge carries a mandatory 5-year sentence. And would it be in racketeering, and it would it be in the RICO? If you can charge one person, then you can charge all. So if one of the 10 people are found guilty of any of this stuff, then all of them are found guilty of all of this stuff. And Trump is actually looking at some jail time for the first time out of all of these indictments, all these impeachments, all these efforts. What are y'all thoughts on this?
Until I see him behind bars, until I hear from a judge and Trump is in the courtroom and that judge is telling Trump, you have been found guilty and you have been sentenced to X amount of time. Till we all see that, I don't believe it one bit.
Facts.
Just this lady, first you indicting rappers, now all of a sudden you're going after Trump. That sounds like somebody that's trying to not ruffle too many feathers, keep both sides on her side. And so, I don't, again, anything with Trump, I don't buy it until we actually say, this man is, he should be in jail right now for various reasons. And he is not. So to say that, now all of a sudden this RICO is going to get him, I don't buy it. I don't believe it until we see it. None of us should believe it until we see it. And again, with this lady, I don't know her, her motives, her agenda. It seems a little fishy. I'll just leave it at that and say that. But again, with Trump, I don't believe anything until we actually, especially with him going to jail or prison. I highly doubt that, I just don't see it. Again, there's been plenty of things and plenty of reasons why this man should be behind bars, or at least not considered to be able to run for the president of the United States again. But he has made it clear he will do that even if he is behind bars. So again, they could sentence him for 5 years and he could still be behind bars and he could still win. Mind you, people can write on the ballot who they want to vote for. Just because Trump may not say Donald Trump representing as a Republican, people can still write that in. And he has millions of people following him. I think over 70 million people voted for him. So that means that 70 million people are going to be writing his name on the ballot, potentially, if his name is not already on there representing the Republican Party. We will see that. Trust, we will see that, because these crazy ass people out here follow Donald Trump, and some of those people are our skin color as well, which is a damn shame. But it is what it is. And for those who, if you I don't know, man. If you support that guy, that's on you. I get it. We have the common theme in America where it's, the best of the two evils, I guess how you put it. So, hey, we got Biden, or we got Trump, or we got Bush, or we got Obama, or we got, we never get good solid candidates anyway, right? In this presidential thing. So
Pick your poison.
yeah, I mean, you know, I like I said, I go back to my original statement. I don't believe it until I see it with this guy.
I agree. I and Rock said it, man. I agree. Like I mean, Trump got like he didn't even use his first out of his 9 lives. Like I feel like because he should. And my problem with it is just everything they do. It continues to make him look like a marauder, and that's my issue with it. That is always it. Just adds to the. I don't know the word that they will use, but I guess say the allure will say that is Trump. And I love how it was said too, because it is the lesser of two evils. Who you want, Biden, DeSantis, or Trump? Like who like, where we going with this? And it's like, and I think the first time I was on a podcast with y'all, it was already said smoke and mirrors. And it's like it's like, and it's going to be more as we get closer. And it's just like, but I do not see them locking him up. And like, I love how it was said, even if he was quote unquote locked up, he can still be voted. And it's just, and like, it's all to create this mass chaos. And I'm over it. Like personally, I'm just like, man, like who really wants to do the job? And let's get all this other stuff done. Like, but like, nah, it's smoke and mirrors, and they're not going to lock Trump up. But on the flip side, for young people, read that word RICO and don't do nothing crazy, because when that RICO charge comes, like Drake said, you might just get hit with the RICO. You don't want that. You know that when that come, yeah, you learn a lot real quick.
Your chances of beating a RICO are very slim. Few people have ever beaten RICO charges. So Trump himself has a mountain to climb, because normally when they pull the RICO out on you, they didn't figure out your whole piece of the puzzle. What you got, yeah?
I agree with the panel. I don't believe it until I see the man behind bars. It makes me think though, like, what side is she on, right? It makes me go, okay, let's say she on the Democrat side. That was a good move by the Democrats, right? To be able to, hey, it's bad analogy I'm about to use, but you know, if Trump gets out of the RICO, it's like the poor man version of Jesus resurrecting, right? Like nobody really beats the RICO. So he's like, but that's what it is. If it is a Democrat ploy and Trump beats the RICO, then I guess it wasn't a bad analogy. Then his 7 million people are really going to think this man is God. And how are you going to stop the man then? On the other side, well, I wouldn't say the Republicans did it, because that is a bad. You need to get a new PR team if they're going to say, "Hey, we're going to hit you with the RICO," and then it's going to get your name out there more. So that's okay. It's not coming. That's a bad PR. So where is it coming from? And if it does allegedly take him out of the running, then that leaves you with Smoking Joe again. And then it questions everything that we got going on in America, because if the man is in jail, and first of all, him winning the first time blew my freaking mind, because I was taught in school that you got to be like a mayor, you got to do X, Y, and Z to become the president of the United States. And then here comes some random, not like just random, like you got no political experience whatsoever, and you come on and you become the president of the United States. And at one point in time, you know, a whole bunch of people were staying in your Trump towers and everything, and that was the cool thing to do. And then once they realize who you really are and what you were really about, then they're like, nah, you know, you ain't good for hip hop no more, right? But this random Joe Blow, just no political experience, becomes president. Now, you telling me his second time becoming president of the United States, he does it from jail? That just shows how bad the United States of America is. That just shows that we vote for people based upon either a skin color. Oh yeah, let me vote for this person because they black. Let me vote for this person because they white. Let me vote for this person because it's Donald Trump. You know, it just shows how bad it is that we have no conscience when it comes to and how powerful our votes really are. That's what it just.
I think that it's a totalitarian move. If you look at the DOJ works for the president, the Department of Justice. So you're basically weaponizing the Department of Justice to go and try to find charges on your political opponents, which should be illegal. You shouldn't even be able to do that as a president. But that's exactly what the Democrats have been doing before Trump even got out of office with all those impeachments when they had the House with Nancy Pelosi. And now they got the DOJ and they're doing the same thing. They've been running the same play for the last 5-6 years now, trying to get one of these charges on Trump to stick so that they can eliminate him from the race. And it has not happened yet. And this is why we say we'll see it when we believe it when we see it. Because we've seen the same play being ran over, and we talked about football earlier. Imagine you playing Madden and somebody just runs one play the whole game and expect to win. They run
That's like the old Mortal Kombat move.
Over and over. You remember Mortal Kombat? They used to do one move.
Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here.
You used to hate playing them people. Like, bro, like, that shit whack as hell. You ain't got no other moves? So, man, I don't know, man. I just don't think – I think that they're really just trying to get Biden to win so that they can push him out and let Kamala take over and then figure out a game plan from there because they have no candidate. Biden is in the trash. They look like they're trying to gear up to run Michelle Obama, but then Biden gave his State of the Union speech and his numbers went back up. So then they end up sticking with Biden, and he still hasn't really came out. Well, he did start his campaign. But why did it take you so long to start and officially announce that the president is running for president? Everybody, you the last one to announce you running for president, but you the president though. You the last one starting your campaign. This shit's stupid. Even the Democrats don't believe in Joe Biden. So I don't know how we supposed to. So just like y'all said, man, I don't know.
It's dangerous, man. It's dangerous times. I truly do believe whether they lock him up with the air quotes there or they don't. Even if they do lock him up, let's say they hype it's like whether he beats it, whether he gets locked up, it's they still haven't beaten him. Like it just adds to it, and that's dangerous for me. Like that's just like I don't know the play, but I just know that's not the best look. And I don't put it past anything with the Democrats to want to take Trump out neither because they're a mess. Not Democrats, I mean Republicans. They're messing within themselves, fighting amongst each other. And I think it's a house divided is always going to fall. And America's just one big divided house. And we've been that way for years and years and years. And it's like, and I think it's just sad. And I think like when I first linked with you, brothers, the best thing I heard, and I knew it was a good place for me to be here is smoke and mirrors, man. And it's like, all these distractions, we brink of wars and all this stuff and financial collapses and like we don't even the dollar, like it's ridiculous, man. But like they trying to like it's always a Trump thing. They're worried about Trump getting back. And I really think the deepest issue is not just because it's Trump. I think he who holds all the secrets holds all the power, and that man know a lot of dirt on all them people, and that's what the issue is. But besides his political views too, let's not get past that. But yeah.
And to your point, Devontae, like it's a distraction because if y'all recall, to y'all's point too, like when Trump won, it was like, what? Mm-hmm. Really? He did what?
Yep.
Because everybody was like Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton, mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton, right? Whose name now are we hearing? DeSantis. But are we really hearing that? No. Why? Because then they got to throw this Trump rhetoric in here and distract us, right? To me now, it seems like, and it's coming to me now, Trump isn't really the one here. I think he's the one that, like, you know, for right now through the end of this year, they saying, yeah, it's going to be Trump. It's going to be Trump. By January, February of 2014, we are going to be hearing DeSantis' name a lot, people.
Heavy.
And we ain't going to be hearing a whole bunch of Trump this, Trump that. And the way this country is, Biden, good luck. I mean, I don't think DeSantis will win with the rhetoric, because I don't even think Trump came out this hard. You know, after he got elected, sure, but leading up to his election, I don't think Trump went this hard as DeSantis is going. So I don't know if that's gonna get DeSantis in. But again, in this country, in this America with the 3 Ks, it could very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of it,
Final thought.
I know they on Trump and everything like that. I'm always about keeping the same energy and everything like that. So I know, you know, people were on Trump's head heavy and stuff like that. I'm still waiting I haven't seen it, and maybe I don't watch the news a lot, but I mean, what's going on in Maui? I heard boy Smoking Joe hasn't even said anything about it.
Oh, nah, he said everything. You don't want to hear what he said, though. He said that he pledges everybody $700.
One-time payment. One time. He just sent $7 billion to Ukraine. One time $700 payment for those people who lost it. And also there's a viral video going out right now. There's a lady out there advocating for people's homes, because she's saying now real estate investors and all them, they calling up these people trying to get their land.
Yep.
After their houses were destroyed. Like, that is absolute. But again, this is America with the
Y'all lying. Y'all lying.
No,
$700
payment. He walked up to the mic, looked into the camera, and said it to everybody.
You got that. You got more during COVID.
Cold-blooded, man. This is America.
$700 payment, man. Let's get some shout-outs before we get up out of here.
Damn, man. Oh, shit. Oh, God. No, my goodness. Hey, y'all brothers stay up, man. This is why we got to just stay united, stay together. At the end of the day, we live in America. We got more opportunities in America than we would have elsewhere. Is it fair for us? Hell no, it's not fair for us. But victory is a lot sweeter when you go through some adversity. I know it is hard, but y'all gotta keep pushing. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Ain't no white man gonna give it to you. They're gonna give you $700 in a phone call saying, hey, here's $700. We give you the rest when you sell us the rest of your land. And then we're gonna build a hotel on it in Hawaii, in Maui, and make money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, this was it. This was the one. That's a great ending. Always shout out to you guys. I'm enjoying these conversations. Keep me sharp. And just the different point of views. Caleb, we got to stop calling that a bubble title. We'll just save that discussion for another day. But no, I really always appreciate it, man. I'm always gonna shout y'all out first because I just appreciate just welcoming me in and just getting to know y'all better and just the vibes, just that brotherhood and building with y'all. And shout out to just the people in the world, man. Really, rock to the best. Keep y'all heads up, man. And I think just lean into each other. More importantly, black men, take care of each other, put your ego aside and just be there for each other, listen to each other and build each other up and support brothers out there. Celebrate people without wanting nothing in return. Shout out to those who do that. Just celebrate people without wanting nothing in turn. If you see somebody winning, don't be like, oh, when is it my time? Just be like, yo, congratulations, because your time is coming regardless. That's it.
Yeah, as always, shout out to PolitiKan. Shout out to you guys, man. It's always fun, to talk the shit that we talk. Shout out to all the people that helped that security officer in Alabama. Hey man, hey, shout out to yo. And what's crazy is we're going to see more of that on a serious tip, because the rhetoric that we are seeing, America is, it's after the Trump era, right? We talk about eras after the Trump era. America has gotten very bold, even more so with its racism, specifically being viral, and white people simply not caring that they call us the N-word, or they beat us up, or they spit on us. It sounds very familiar, right? Yeah. And now it's just, we're in the viral era. Now everybody can see it immediately. That's the only difference that's happening right now. And so we are going to see more instances like what happened in Alabama, right? Where, our people need to wake up and realize we are not each other's enemies, right? We are not each other's enemies. Let's stop killing each other. Let's stop hurting our sisters. Let's start educating our children on Black history, on Native history, on all of those things, right? Because they are eliminating our history because they simply do not want us to know or remember that we won multiple times throughout our history, specifically our history in America, right? They don't want us to know about the Nat Turner Revolt. They don't want us to know about Brown versus Board. They don't want us to know about the Civil Rights Act. They don't want us to know about the Black Panthers, right? They don't want this because they don't want us to know that we actually did come together. They don't want us to know about the Black Wall Streets throughout America. Not we hear the Tulsa and the Rosewood. They were Black Wall Streets everywhere. Okay. And so they don't want us to know about that. They don't want us to know that we win and that we are still here for a reason through all the things that they've thrown at us since slavery. We are still here for a reason. So, I say shout out to them because it means that, or it seems as though Black people do get it and can get it. Now it's just us doing that more in bulk, right? When we see, a Black person being attacked in that manner, especially out in public, we need to be doing that more in bulk. And that's the only way. Y'all notice that's what they do throughout history. There's a mob or a gang of them, and normally just one or two of us. When more of us show up, you get those results. So we're gonna see a lot more of that in America going forward, because shit's getting real. Just getting real every single day. It ain't just in Florida and Texas. They are the foundation with the bigotry and the racism right now, but it's spreading. And so it's going to get real, and it will hit the inner cities soon. Right now, like I said, it's just in Florida, Texas, those red states that really ain't got a whole bunch of Black people. Once it start hitting the metropolises, we gonna see it. We're going to see it. The revolution, as they say, will be televised.
That's real. That's real. I think that one of the biggest quotes and creeds that I live by is, a man convinced against his will is of the same mind state. Meaning that if I get you to do something for me, even if you do it, you're in the mindset of, I don't want to do that shit. And I don't want anybody on this journey with me that's in the mindset that I don't want to do this shit. So shout out to y'all brothers for showing up week after week on this podcast. Amrock, with the time difference, I know you're on a whole different stratosphere. So shout out to y'all for showing up week to week, man, and going on this journey with me, man. You encounter a lot of people that say they want to go, but they want the reward. They don't want the journey. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that we got to do is we got to make sure that we enjoy this journey, and that we realize that these are the prime times. Because when we get to where we're going to go, if you just look at the growth of all of us over the last few years that we've known each other, we're going to get to our destinations. Mm-hmm. And that goes for all of us. So I don't doubt that one bit. You know what I'm saying? But let's just make sure that we enjoy this journey and cherish it, because these are the days we're going to look back on 10 years from now when we was just having these conversations and we helped bring forth the change that we see necessary in the world. You know what I'm saying? There's three types of people that is in this world. There's people that make shit happen. There's people that watch shit happen. And there's people that don't know what the fuck happened, man. PolitiKan The Podcast.
You want to stop me? You're going to have to fucking kill me!
Smoking Dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up one, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Act your bitch, really famous homie, and you know it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative like I made Adobe. I've been